think your pushback exposes a weakness in the way I framed it. I made discernment sound too much like evaluating whether the relationship continues to deserve your investment. You're describing something deeper. The investment may already have been decided by love. If I genuinely love this particular person, the question isn't necessarily, are they still meeting the conditions that justify my staying? It can become, given that I love this person, how do I become sophisticated enough to live with the reality of who they actually are? That changes the whole framework. You may hate certain behaviors. You may be disappointed, angry, embarrassed, exhausted, or profoundly hurt by something they do. None of those things logically proves that you stop loving them. And you're right about something important. An outside observer cannot calculate another person's attachment and announce, you shouldn't love them this much. Human attachment isn't a spreadsheet. I would still challenge one part of your position, though I wouldn't make physical harm the only meaningful boundary. Not because emotional discomfort automatically justifies leaving. I actually think our culture sometimes stretches words like toxic so far that ordinary human difficulty gets treated as pathology. But because there are forms of sustained exploitation that don't require hitting somebody, deliberately destroying their livelihood, repeatedly stealing from them, intentionally terrorizing their children, systematically deceiving them, etc. But here's where I think your argument survives even that objection. Ending access and ending love aren't the same thing. That's an important distinction. You could conceivably say, I cannot live with you under these circumstances, while simultaneously saying, I still love you. I still want good for you. And if circumstances genuinely change, reconciliation is something I desire. And biblically, I think there's something interesting in what you're describing. God's relationship with Israel is remarkably difficult to squeeze into the modern idea that repeated disappointment means you should simply find a healthier relationship. Israel rebels, complains, worships other gods, violates the covenant, rejects prophets, and God judges, disciplines, withdraws privileges, establishes consequences, and sometimes removes people from the environment. But he keeps pursuing the larger relationship. That's much closer to your old car analogy than what I originally gave you. The strongest version of your argument, then, isn't love means tolerate everything. That's too crude. It's when love is genuine, difficulty doesn't automatically become evidence that the relationship should end. Difficulty becomes a problem requiring greater understanding, accommodation, patience, boundaries, correction, forgiveness, and sometimes years of work. And there's something else underneath what you're saying that I think is even more interesting. Maybe compatibility is partly something people build rather than something people find. Two people can begin with enormous differences and over 20 or 30 years become extraordinarily compatible because they've spent decades learning one another. They've developed a shared language. They know which differences require compromise, which ones should simply be accepted, when the other person needs space, when they need confrontation, when something isn't personal, and when to let something go. In that sense, the state-of-the-art car approach to relationships has a hidden problem. If your solution to persistent incompatibility is always replacement, you may never develop the sophistication required for deep compatibility. You can keep changing partners while carrying the same undeveloped relationship skills into every new relationship. And I think that is the sharpest part of your argument. You're not really glorifying dysfunctional relationships. You're questioning whether our threshold for calling something dysfunctional has become so low that ordinary frustration, incompatibility, disappointment, and developmental struggle get mistaken for evidence that love has failed. Those are very different claims.